Hello, everybody. This is Ryan Koki of the Seahawks Recap Show, and welcome to another Seahawks off-season video for the 2023-2024 off-season. And it is all over, my friends. It is all over. The head coaching spot for the Seattle Seahawks is now filled, and now we as fans don't have to stress about who's going to be our head coach for the 2024-2025 season. It is Mike MacDonald, and man, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride because we had no idea. Once Pete got fired, we had no idea. We had to speculate as fans. Oh, is Ben Johnson going to be the next head coach? Oh, is Mike Vrabel going to be in the mix? Is Iro Evero going to be in the mix? Are all these guys going to be in the mix for this job? And now we have our answer. It's a reality. And before we get into this video, if you would like to see any future content from this channel, please not only consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content, but also leave a like on this video. It lets me know if I'm doing a good job or not, and if you guys would like to see any more content from me. So without further ado, let's get into welcoming the Seattle Seahawks new head coach, Mike MacDonald. Man, this was brilliant because I saw this news, and here's my thoughts. When I saw this news about, 20 to 30 minutes ago, I was like, oh, wow. So we had all this time, all this things picked out, oh, Mike MacDonald's going to get a second interview here and here, and now it's finally a reality. Well, I guess this is what patience looks like. John Schneider knew who he wanted, and now it's a reality. Mike MacDonald is part of the Seattle Seahawks and is going to be taking over the head coaching vacancy. And I just saw the news and couldn't be happier. Honestly, he is now the youngest coach in the NFL at 36 years of age. He's got a brilliant defensive mind. For Baltimore, he built a fantastic defense for them. So, with that in mind, I really like the signing and can't wait to see what he does with this team. And the reason why I really like him is not only because he was reported and, everybody and their mother that was in the media was saying he is the best head coaching candidate for this year. He was one of the best defensive coordinators, and he really showed it here in his stats. In his 2023 stats, first in defense points per game, first in defense yards allowed, sixth average rushing yards allowed, and ninth in third down conversion rate. And his coaching timeline was Ravens DB coach 2017, Ravens linebacker coach 2018 to 2020, Michigan DC 2021, and Ravens DC 2022. So with that kind of a resume, all I saw from not only Seahawks fans, but from just the general public, people were looking at Mike MacDonald and saying, he was really good in Michigan with his defenses, and he was really good in Baltimore, obviously, with his Ravens defense. So I'm extremely excited because this will help Seattle out. This will help Seattle out. They were 25th overall in the entire NFL with their defense. Not good enough. And now they brought in a defensive mind who is not only young, he's 36, he's the youngest coach in the NFL right now, but he's also going to build a new culture, I feel, in Seattle. He's not only going to help out the linebackers that we do have in like Boya Mafe and Cheno and Wosu, and those guys, but he's going to build a new culture. He's going to bring in an entirely new kind of scheme fit because remember, we went from Pete Carroll, who lived in Seattle and breathed life into this team for 14 years. But now we're bringing in a young guy who can bring in some fresh life, some fresh experience to this team, and it's just going to be exceptional, I think. Because again, we'll see if the hype's real, but I am so happy about this change. You could probably tell, but it's really nice. We got our guy, Ben Johnson wanted to stay with the Lions, so we go in and pick up Mike MacDonald, and reportedly his contract could be 6 years. That's from Adam Schefter himself. So I don't know. They were still finalizing the deal, so we'll see more about that when that comes out. You might already know his contract details before even I do, because at the time of this recording, I do not know his full contract details, but it's just insane to see a young guy getting his chance to be a head coach, and I can't wait to see what next year brings. But what happens now? Now, the next order of business is finding an OC and defensive coordinator. Remember, Shane Waldron left for the Bears, and Clint Hurt yesterday left for the Eagles, and now we have no offensive defensive coordinator. And I don't know how long finding the OC and DC will take, but I should assume now that the Seahawks have the most important position filled. Finally, they can now start looking at potential candidates. And honestly, for potential candidates, I know we've talked about people like Iro Evero and Mike Kirkofka for the head coaching spot, but I would really like to see potentially these two guys, Iro Evero for the Panthers DC job. He could be a DC that I would like to see in Seattle because he's 43 and he could be a potential defensive coordinator option. From Panthers fans, what I heard from Panthers fans when people were asking about Iro Evero, like some Seahawks fans were talking about Iro Evero. Iro Evero actually had a pretty decent season considering the lack of talent he had on defense, and he was very good, reportedly from people around the NFL that he could, potentially be a head coaching candidate. So, would he take a job in Seattle? I don't know. But if you're bringing in a new culture, why not bring in some young guys? Why not bring in the 43-year-old? Why not bring in Mike Kirkofka as the 36-year-old to fill out a young offensive and defensive coordinator group and have a young coaching staff? As for offensive coordinator, though, I know that Giants OC Mike Kirkofka was part of the interview process for the Seattle head coaching job. So it seems like if these two guys, Iro Evero and Mike Kirkofka, were part of this process to get them as head coaching candidates, would they mind being OC and DC? We'll see. So they already seem to have some interest in these two. So he could also be a potential offensive coordinator. But again, these are all like speculation. I'm looking at guys that have already been interviewed for the head coaching job, and I'm going through that list and going, hmm, do you want a guy like Iro Evero on your team? Do you want a guy like Mike Kirkofka on your team? Because they might not have cut it as the head coaching candidate that John Schneider was looking for, but he could honestly turn around and go, hey, your teams didn't do that great last year, this season. So why don't you come in, be a part of a culture change, be a part of this team, and be a really young head coaching staff for Seattle for next season? But anyways, guys, we'll see in the next coming weeks how everything shakes out. But I'm so happy that Seattle got their man. It took them a little bit, but patience does pay off, man. Patience does pay off. So we'll see what happens in 2024, 2025. Anyways, that's my instant reaction to Mike MacDonald being the new head coach of Seattle. And I can't wait for this chapter of Seahawks football to start in 2024, 2025. Anyways, I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section below, and have a good week. And I will see you in the next video.